Imagine a structure so massive, it alters the rotation of the Earth. Imagine a city with no cars, no streets, and zero carbon emissions. A single mirrored monolith stretching 170 kilometers across the harsh Arabian desert. From the Red Sea to the mountain bottom, cutting through the sand like a blade. Saudi Arabia calls it the line. It is the crown jewel of the Neom project, a $1 trillion bet on the future of humanity. But is this the dawn of a new civilization, or the most expensive prison ever built? Welcome to Civilization Blueprints. Today, we deconstruct the most ambitious construction project in human history. To understand the scale of the line, we have to look at the numbers. They are staggering. The city is designed to be only 200 meters wide, but 500 meters tall. That is taller than the Empire State Building, stretching for the distance from London to Birmingham. The architects claim that 9 million people will live here, not spread out in suburbs, but stacked vertically in layers. This is zero-gravity urbanism. The promise is seductive. Schools, parks, and workplaces, all within a 5-minute walk. You don't commute horizontally, you commute vertically. And if you need to go further, a high-speed rail network buried deep underground promises to transport you from one end of the city to the other in just 20 minutes. No traffic, no noise, just efficiency. But why build this? Why here? Why now? The answer lies in fear. Saudi Arabia knows that the age of oil is ending. Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman needs a backup plan. Neom is that plan. It is meant to be a sovereign economic zone with its own laws, its own tax system, and crucially, its own robots. The blueprints show more AI than humans. Facial recognition everywhere. Holographic teachers. Artificial rain. It sounds like a utopia. So, what would a typical day actually look like inside the line? Let's simulate it. You wake up in a module on level 45. You might not see the sunrise directly, but a simulated light panel on your wall mimics the morning sky perfectly. Your breakfast is delivered by a drone through a tube system in the wall. There are no kitchens in most apartments. Efficiency is the priority. You step out to go to work. You don't wait for an elevator. You step into an omnidirectional pod that moves sideways and vertically. As you travel, facial recognition scanners log your mood and health vitals. The city's operating system, called NEOS, knows you are stressed. It automatically adjusts the lighting and music in your workspace before you even arrive. This sounds convenient, but it implies total data transparency. Neom's promotional material talks about predictive living. The city knows what you need before you do. But this raises a terrifying question. Can you ever turn it off? In a city designed by algorithms, is there room for human chaos, for privacy, or for dissent? If you break a rule, does the city simply lock your pod or cut off your credits? This level of integration goes far beyond smart homes. It is a smart cage. Now, let's talk about the physics of building a wall across a continent. Seasoned engineers are looking at these plans with skepticism, because building a glass wall in the desert comes with physical challenges that border on the impossible. Critics point out a fatal flaw in the design: the mirror effect. A 500-meter-tall glass facade, stretching for 170 kilometers, creates a massive barrier for migrating birds. Millions of birds cross this corridor every year. The line could become a graveyard for nature. But the problems for humans are even bigger. The design creates a deep, narrow canyon. Architects call this the urban heat island effect. on steroids. Without complex ventilation systems, the heat trapped inside could be lethal. Furthermore, there is the issue of sunlight. If you live on the upper floors, you have a view of the desert. But what about the lower levels? Residents at the bottom might live in perpetual shadow, reliant on artificial daylight for their entire lives. It creates a literal class system. The wealthy in the sun above, the workers in the dark below, and then there is the water. Saudi Arabia has no rivers. To sustain 9 million people, the line requires massive desalination plants, pumping brine and chemicals back into the Red Sea, potentially destroying the coral reefs the project claims to protect. The sustainability promise begins to crack under scrutiny. Critics argue that we have seen this hubris before. History is littered with the ruins of utopian cities. Look at Fordlandia in the 1920s. Henry Ford tried to build an ideal American industrial city in the middle of the Amazon rainforest. It failed miserably. Disease, riots, and a lack of understanding of the local environment. Or look at Brasilia, built from scratch in the 1950s to be the perfect organized capital. Today, it is criticized for being sterile, alienating, and difficult to navigate. The line faces an even bigger hurdle, the economy. The project relies entirely on the sovereign wealth fund of Saudi Arabia. But this fund is dependent on oil prices. If the oil market crashes in the next 10 years, the funding for the line dries up instantly. We could be left with the world's most expensive ruin, a half-finished glass wall in the desert, slowly being reclaimed by the sand. Construction experts estimate the real cost could balloon to over $1 trillion. To put that in perspective, that is more than the GDP of most countries. Is it really feasible to spend that much on a single city when existing infrastructure around the world is crumbling, but the biggest cost isn't money or concrete, it's human? The land where the line is being built wasn't empty. It was home to the Hawattat tribe for centuries. Reports suggest that forced evictions have taken place to clear the way for this utopia. This raises the ultimate question. Who is this city really for? With cameras, sensors, and AI monitoring every movement, every purchase, and every interaction. The line has the potential to be the most efficient surveillance state in history, a golden cage where convenience costs you your privacy. History is full of megaprojects that failed. The world islands in Dubai are sinking back into the sea. Forest City in Malaysia stands empty, a ghost town. Will the line suffer the same fate? Construction is moving forward. The machines are digging. Whether it becomes the eighth wonder of the world or a $1 trillion ruin in the sand. One thing is guaranteed. We are witnessing the most dangerous architectural experiment of our time. What do you think? Would you live in the line, or does the idea terrify you? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the impossible, hit the like button and subscribe to Civilization Blueprints. Next week, we uncover the secrets beneath the Antarctic ice. You don't want to miss that.